This business is like the Wild West. Gold, silver, rare coins, lost treasures of history. You never know what's gonna walk through that door. Okay, so you got 130 bucks here. Watch this. I'm Evan Kale, and this is Pawn Man. So I got this emerald here. Let's briefly talk about what happened. I purchased it as part of a larger deal maybe about a month ago. This girl came in, young girl. She had a couple stones that were really high quality. I paid her $4,000 for 4 rings where I originally offered her 500 bucks, and she looked at me like, are you out of your fucking mind? I'm gonna slap you. And so I went back and I talked to my jewelry person, and she said, we'll pay more. So we sold 2 other rings at 2,000. Those were the nice ones. Now these ones were not as nice. I was expecting to make about 500 on the deal, and assuming I was going to be able to sell these rings as is, not scrapping them, again, 500 probably would have been the profit. However, I sold this on eBay and it got returned to me because Karen didn't like one of these little notches. Which one? This one right here. It's missing a little notch, a teeny tiny little notch. I mean, I guess I don't wear jewelry, so maybe it's a big deal to somebody who does, but it seems really silly to me to return this ring, especially the price that they got. As far as the diamonds go, as we know, the diamonds, they're tiny. What do we know about diamonds that are tiny? We know that they're a scam. They're like less than 0.1. So, nothing I'd pay extra on. And then the emerald itself is what I want to talk about. This emerald here is a pretty shitty emerald. I forget what episode. It was one of my early episodes. I talked about like the history, not the history. Maybe I'll revisit it for a future episode, but we talked about emeralds. Maybe it was aquamarine. Oh, I don't know, it was like 2 years ago. Emeralds can be very brittle. So I can't take a blowtorch to this thing. Like I said, it's a shitty quality stone. Let me explain why. You guys see how cloudy that is? Emeralds generally can have a lot of inclusions. This one has a lot of inclusions. It's just very low quality. Now, if this was a high quality stone, 1,000 bucks wholesale is what I could pay on an emerald like that. But unfortunately, because it's a low quality, I mean, we're talking all the diamonds here, the whole kit and caboodles, maybe 25 bucks. The diamonds and the emerald, that low quality. So I'm gonna make a TikTok. I'm gonna attempt to resell it one more time. But what I'm likely going to end up doing is scrapping this, and I can't take a blowtorch to it because even though it's a low quality stone, like I'm not about to throw away money. So I will have to use a needle nose to squeeze these out. But let's see if I can't sell it with a TikTok. So it's 4.3 grams, probably 3 grams if I remove all the gemstones. So gold values maybe like 100 bucks. I'd rather get 2. I'm gonna try one more time to sell this. I also just don't like destroying rings if I can help it. We'll see what happens. Also, I want to give a shout out to Riker Collins, because he paid for it. Riker from Minster. What the fuck did my mind go to the Jared Fogle song? It's like, I want to pay you for a shout out. Affiliate me with a pedophile. Okay.
Here is Jared Fogle. You may have seen him on the news or a talk show.
Oh, also, you guys, please don't message me my Evan Kale, like if you have a Pawn Man question, because it's been happening a lot. I do say follow me on @EvanKale, because like I'm a whore and I'm trying to grow. But Pawn Man stuff, just keep it to Pawn Man, because it gets really confusing. And also my employees don't have access to my private account. Okay, Riker, where are you? @CoinCollector33. There you go, Riker. It's been happening more and more. I'll be checking out at a grocery store, or today I went to the liquor store when I was out running errands, and guy's checking me out, and he goes, God, you look familiar. And I'm like, TikTok. Oh. He goes, oh yeah, I used to follow you. And I looked at him, I took out my sunglasses, I go, what do you mean used to? I deleted TikTok. I go, I can't argue with that. That's probably good for your mental health. Because if you're gonna say something else, I was gonna slap the fucking shit out of you, but right answer. All right, I got a little bit of scrap gold down here that I'm gonna be melting down. I got some gems I wanna get out, some diamonds. But really quickly, this segment is brought to you guys by Get Pierced. Get Pierced is a professional body piercing company based in the UK. They're located in Carlisle, Cumbria. They are professionals. They offer exceptional service, exceptional jewelry, 14 and 18 karat gold. And they offer body jewelry from leading manufacturers such as BVLA, Anato Metal, Industrial Strength, and much more. Check out Get Pierced on Instagram or visit their website to book an appointment. And thanks to them, let's melt this shit down. Look at that. Got all the diamonds out. That's all I'm gonna do for now. Number one, the gas is expensive for this stuff. So if the diamonds are really tiny, it's actually just like not worth torching it. But the content is where it is worth it. Also, I know I bitch about this all the time, about how hard it is for me to do this show and like run this business and film everything at the same fucking time and script the show and da-da-da-da-da-da. What's really hard is doing this part right now. It is not an easy task to sit here with a camera in one hand and a blowtorch in the other and try and film it well, while also melting it down, while also timing it so that I can put the blowtorch down and get the diamonds out before it cools, because the stuff cools really fast. But that's melting it down. Thanks, Get Pierced, for sponsoring this video. Safety first. Right, kids? Oh wait, they can't talk, because there's gag balls in their mouths. You guys ever seen these before? I don't remember, I don't even remember if like Pawn Man existed yet or not. So this is a deal I did from the old shop. What happened was an individual came in with these and I took one look at this and what the fuck is this? He's like, oh, it's 1/10 of a gram of gold. Each one of these, it's a cryptocurrency. And I kind of like, I looked at this and I'm like rolling my eyes and it's like, well, this just looks like gold foil. This looks like a scam. Like, I don't even know how I would test this because like, it's so flimsy. If I were to break it out and try and rub it on like I couldn't test it. I took a Sigma to it, it didn't register. And the guy had, I swear to God, he had a fucking suitcase full of these, thousands and thousands of them, bricks of them. So I looked them up, and what happened was, I want to say we paid melt minus a little bit on each one. It was like, it amounted to like $5,000 or something like that, and we immediately called and flipped into another dealer because this was before, this was before I made Pawn Man, because this was before I was doing social media. I didn't know what the fuck these were. We sold them at almost full melt, and the person that we sold them to turned around and sold them to another dealer who I do a lot of business with, and I was seeing him this week, and I noticed that he had a bunch of these, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Is that the same thing from, yep, turns out it's the same stuff. And so now I know what these are, so I bought everything that he'd sell me. Let's talk a little bit about what these are. And really quick though, before I do explain these, this segment is brought to you guys by Jolly Puff here on YouTube. Go subscribe to Jolly Puff's channel. So basic explanation of what these are, they're a stable form of currency which each contains small amounts of 24 karat gold. Karatbars, as the company is known here, it was a German cryptocurrency company whose project combined a cryptocurrency bank, a Madagascan gold mine, and a multi-level marketing style affiliate approach. And it was told to shut down in 2019 by German regulators after it was classified as a pyramid scheme, which, you know, if you hear the words multi-level marketing or multi-level, almost always a pyramid scheme.
It's not a pyramid scheme. It's not even a scheme per se.
So this was founded in 2011 by an individual named Harald Sees. He was a former vacuum cleaner salesman, which just screams scam. And he promised to revolutionize the global cryptocurrency economy with this cryptocurrency, a new kind of token. After years of plugging this away, in 2018 and 2019, he decided to go all out. And I think it was late 2019 or early 2020 when I first bought these. This guy conducted an ICO in 2018. He raised $100 million from investors, and he was using the salesmanship of safe gold in cryptocurrency. You know, cryptocurrency's crazy, but gold isn't, and there's gold in these here notes. It's a cryptocurrency tied to gold. A gold standard of crypto. Even as I'm saying this out loud, I don't know how people didn't pick up on this as being a massive scam. See, again, when I first saw these, it screamed scam to me. Originally, this was called Karat Bank Coin. It turned into Karat Gold Coin. And what this did that was more novel than anyone else were there were like ATMs that were set up, and you could go and you could exchange your crypto, and it would spit out shit like this. Not like this, it would spit these out. So then you could go and take them to a store like mine and redeem them for the gold value. So it was worth 10,000 Karat Bank coins, one of these, which, you know, you could buy with real money. However, because it was unregulated, they would fluctuate quite a lot in price, upwards of 500%, which is crazy. And if you have something that's tied to gold, there should be fluctuation like that. These things also promised a 40% commission to affiliates. It's pyramid scheme just like through and through and through. They were also promising people who were investing in this residual passive income. You know, just like you could retire on this. But the problem was, people saw through it, nobody trusted it, it seemed fishy, it wasn't taking off. So they changed their marketing. They switched from Karat Bank Coin to carat gold coin, and they had a special mega event on July 4th called Gold Independence Day, trying to get like American investors. And he had this like exchange sale, like on this one day, if you turned in your carat gold, you got a 40-fold return on your investment, which if that sounds unsustainable, yes, this is how pyramid schemes work. So I'm gonna read a quote directly from Harold Seas. On the 26th of October, 2018, he said, quote, "Yes, we need a better world, and I'm looking forward to the future. I guarantee everyone that they will receive 1 gram of gold for 100 KBC each on Independence Day, July 4th, 2019. The carat gold coin is the first coin, the first crypto actually backed by gold." So he announced that he was buying 5 tons of gold as like a gold standard for the company, or like, you know, to have gold reserves. And they showed all these videos where like they're hanging out with like all this gold. But of course, all the money that was coming into this thing, they were just spending on, you know, luxury items, sports cars, stuff like that, because they actually did a really good job marketing, and there was just cryptomania. I mean, we're gonna talk about cryptocurrency scams in a future episode of Pawn Man, but just for right now, I wanna talk about this because I'm holding it in my hand. People were so excited about this that they didn't see that it was a Ponzi scheme, and they were investing a lot of money. On their Gold Independence Day, they managed to get a huge cash infusion. It like actually kind of worked. And the coin itself peaked at 12.6 cents per coin. The 24-hour volume trading managed to break 12 million. But like all good schemes, the whole thing came crashing down. It was shut down in 2019 by German regulators, and what's interesting is I am pretty sure that I bought these in 2020. And the people who sold these to me were actually praising that like these were gonna be the future, and that, come to think of it, they were trying to get ATMs here in America that would dispense these, and they wanted to put one in the old man's shop. And I was like, you are begging the IRS to rape us. Are you out of your fucking mind? No fucking way are we gonna put one of those ATMs in here. So yeah, that's the story of this cash gold Karatbars thing. Like if you ever see these, that's what these are. It was a former defunct cryptocurrency. However, now they're collectible. Of course. Retail on these, honestly, is about $15 each, which is way above the gold value in them. People just like the novelty. I wanna say, I bought these back for $3 each, $4 each, something like that. I remember I wanna say we paid like $5 each. Maybe we paid a little bit less, I forget. But yeah, that's what these things are. So I'm gonna do a TikTok on these now, see if I can't blow them out. Thank you, Jolly Puff, for sponsoring this segment on a pyramid scheme. I want to show you guys something cool. I think I showed this off last video. I honestly don't remember, but here, I'll show you again. So this is from World War II Japan. It's the Empire of the Rising Sun banner, and I thought this was someone's name. I wasn't terribly sure. Yes, I did major in Japanese studies, but it was 10 years ago. I have not practiced at all since I graduated college 10 years ago, and I definitely can't read names, like, because this is a kanji name, and I was never very good at kanji to begin with. Okay, so, but we had, conveniently today, someone came in here and they spoke fluent Japanese and they knew what it said. And so it says, this is so funny. Well, not funny, this is terrible. Congratulations, Mr. Imamura. Congratulating Mr. Imamura on being drafted to go fight in World War II for Japan. So, congratulations! You're gonna fucking die. This was probably given to him, and I don't know if he came back or not. I'm currently selling this. I haven't even advertised this yet. I just had it sitting. Potentially this might be offensive, because, well, I got the Rising Sun part covered up, and it's been sitting. I've just had this sitting right here, like, since I got it 2 weeks ago. And it's one of those things I put it there, and I just kind of lazily left it there. So the Rising Sun part's covered up. I guess it can't be that offensive. And my grandma's long dead, so she ain't gonna see it. Randomly last night, I was looking for something in my apartment, and I ended up like tearing my apartment apart, and I found a bunch of old photos. But check these out. These are from World War II, from my grandfather's unit. So I don't have an exact date. I would think 1944, maybe. This was my grandfather's unit. He was the captain. Obviously, he was in the Pacific. I don't know what island that is, but looks like some men getting ready. First crew is what that says. That's my grandpa right there. That is not my grandpa. I honestly don't know who this is. He's long dead now. That's my grandpa. He wore the coolest sunglasses.
Which you like better, these or these?
Joe, they're the same.
I don't know where he is in this photo. I wonder how many of these guys died. It's a very happy thought. Oh, he's kind of cute. Hope he didn't die. I wonder what he looks like now. Okay, so I don't know where my grandpa is in this photo. But here is a rising sun, like a big battle banner that they captured. Here's my grandpa right there. He got those cool sunglasses on. And then here is me on my 16th birthday with my friend Robert. And I was just fucking pissed because I failed my driver's license test and it was my 16th birthday and I had gotten a car for my birthday, but I couldn't drive it. And how's that for a hairstyle? 2005 and 6 were interesting years. The year after I graduated, I was at a party and there were some kids that were like still in high, like seniors or whatever at this party, and like it was the summer after. But so I was talking to somebody who had like just graduated, you know, they were a year younger than me, and I didn't have any siblings, so I didn't know anybody really in the younger or older classes besides my friend's siblings. So I was talking to this person and they're like, oh, wait a minute. You used to have long blonde hair, you straightened it, and you drove that BMW convertible. We all thought you were a foreign exchange student, because like you were like rich and weird and you had this bizarre style and you were like ripping around in a BMW, and yeah, we all thought you were like a German exchange student, so interesting. I had no idea that's what the other classes thought of me. This is going out. This is a spoon from 1889, India. Features a Victorian Empress. It's a bamboo type handle. It's 917 silver, half a troy ounce. I like how it just says keeper right here. I bought this like right when I opened up. I think I paid like $35 on it. And I got, after eBay fees, 70 bucks, so I doubled up my money, which 1 year doubling up your money is not bad. So that's going out. And then this, I'm trying to figure out what this is. Looks like Shiva. It's from India. It might be a temple token. I don't know. I got my Instagram and Discord trying to help me out. Keeping my AC on. It is really hot in here. It's like 100 degrees outside right now. When we walked in, it was a sauna. So I went through this book. I was like trying to go through, looking to see if I could find it in here. This is the first time I've opened this book since I bought it last year. But combing through it, couldn't find anything, so I figured I'd just ask the internet. Problem with trying to look up Indian coins is there's a lot of regions. There's always been a lot of regions, and every region makes different coins. There's this old guy, he came from the old shop. He's Ukrainian, actually. He's got like all these crazy stories of growing up in the USSR and all the things that they did for gymnastics there, like throwing grenades in school or gym class. But he knows his world coins really well. He's a shark, he's a barterer, he's why you gotta stay on your toes in this business. He will casually find expensive coins in buckets and, you know, try and work them in with other stuff. And usually I can pick out when it's like, oh, I missed something. So he's trying to work that coin in, which immediately makes me suspicious. I mean, it's either a $5 coin, could be a $500 coin, we'll find out. But he's the kind of person that keeps you on your toes. So you just gotta watch. When he's interested in something, I always raise an eyebrow. And he like straight up never wants to pay more than $1 for like a handful of like, sometimes it's fine because they're just like crappy, like circulated coins with little value. So let's see if we can't find out what it is. All right, looks like Jersey Shore got it right. India, Amankasu, 1889. I looked it up. Yeah, that's what this is. So this one's in better condition. They want 15. I mean, this is worth $5, but better safe than sorry with this guy, because I have seen him come in when I worked at the old shop. He'd scoop up coins that were valuable. I once sold him some Byzantine Empire coins that were gold, and I gave him like just a hair above melt. It was when I was new. The old man was like, the fuck did you do that for? You know how expensive those were? I mean, he probably bought them for nothing, but yeah, so I learned my lesson that way with him. On someone else's dime. Apprenticed with someone and learned on their dime. I'm gonna soak up the sun. I'm gonna soak up the sun. Lucky, I absolutely love that song. Love it. I sing along every time it comes on. I got a little customer service thing I want to share with you guys. We've been talking a lot about customer service and some blunders and just how important and basic and easy it is. Nobody really did anything wrong here. I got a little story I want to share. So maybe about a month ago, I didn't film this deal. Young guy comes in, great big diamond ring. He says it's a family heirloom. Diamond was over a carat. And you know, you guys know, A, I don't like diamonds. B, I think they're a scam. C, I'm not comfortable paying up on them because I kind of don't know what I'm doing because I'm not a gemologist. I don't have a GIA. My training on diamonds is very, very, very limited. So I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, well, how much you want on it? The guy says, I want 2,000. And I'm like, 2,000? Yeah, I'll put on the scale. Fucker melts at 300 tops. So I call my jewelry expert out and I said, he wants 2,000. And she says, oh, you should take that. You should do it. I'm like, really? Yeah. Okay. So I'm like, well, be glad she's here, man. I'm gonna do it. And I pay him 2,000, you know, do his ID, all the paperwork, all the stuff. He leaves. He says, as I'm looking at it though, before I paid him, I'm the first shop that he's gone to. He hasn't gone to any other shops. And he also says, oh, wait a minute. You're that guy from TikTok, aren't you? Well, yes, I am. Big fan. Oh, well, those are the right words to say. Cool. So after he leaves, he tells me that he has not shown it to anyone else. I'm the first stop around town. And there's a couple jewelers I work with. So I call up one of them and he says, oh yeah, young guy, Diamond over a carat, really nice diamond. Yeah, I saw him an hour ago. I think it's a lab stone. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. So I called a couple other places. No, this kid has shopped it around. Everybody thought it was a lab stone. And I'm thinking, oh, shit. And then my jewelry person offers to just, like, pay for the mistake. And I'm like, well, no. That's not part of the thing here. Like, if you make a really dumb mistake, we'll approach that subject. But, you know, when I worked for the old man, I never had to pay for my mistakes. That was never part of the bargain. It just, to me, is the right thing to do. Unless you make just a horrible, terrible, really dumb, boneheaded mistake. And this certainly wasn't it, because lab stones, you guys, are really hard to distinguish. So I said, okay, let's cross that bridge when we come to it, but why don't we try and see if it's real? So a couple weeks go by, and I bring this ring to a local diamond dealer, and I walk in. Now, I'm wearing my Young Jeezy Snowman shirt, these ratty jeans that have, like, I got a hole in my jeans right now. I mean, this is like the biggest hole I have in any of my clothes. And I got some Jordans on. So I go into this, like, ritzy part of town where this diamond place is, and they have, like, an armed security guard, this big, fat, wannabe cop. And he looks me up and down as I'm walking in, like, oh, I smell trouble. I could just see it. And I can tell he's thinking, are you in the right place? And then I walk in to the store itself, and it is so, oh my God, it's just douche city. There's all these fucking bros in there. There's this one guy who's like definitely on cocaine, trying to sound really loud and cool and knowledgeable and talking about the diamond trade versus lab stones versus, it's like, so you Googled a bunch of stuff before you walked in here, and now you just want to sound really cool, and you're like way high on drugs, and you're talking loud and fast, and you seem crazy. So like I walk in, and like I'm kind of like looking around, and like they look at me, and they're giving me the look of, you're in the wrong place. Also, all the attendants working there, Karen City. Definition of a Karen, every single one of them. So I'm like, you know, like waiting to be seen, and finally like they acknowledge me, and like I can tell they're just, you know, judging a book by its cover. They don't know what I have. And the lady's like, can I help you? I'm like, I didn't want to tell them I'm a buy-sell operation and I just bought this from someone. I said, well, this is a family heirloom. I whip it out though. And as soon as, you know, I got this diamond here, you know, they're like kind of looking like, oh, what does he got? And I pop it open and just everyone's eyes kind of go like that. And it's like, yeah, motherfucker, I got that good. So they call an expert, and the expert, you know, kind of looks me up and down and takes the diamond. I can tell she's thinking, oh, it's stolen. So she's like, all right, I'm gonna do some tests. And I'm kind of looking around, and one of the Karens starts talking to me, and she goes, oh, I like your snowman shirt. It's very ironic. Interesting time to wear a shirt with a snowman on it in June. And I go, oh, this? No, this is a rap shirt. This is Jeezy, he's my favorite rapper. They call him the Snowman because he used to move crazy weight. It's not made from snow, it's made from crack. She just goes, oh, I'm gonna have a seat now. So I sit down, lady comes back out, and like just everyone's attitudes have changed when they know what I have. And so she sits down, she's walking me through the stone, and she says, I can offer you 3,600. And I'm just like, don't make a face. And I said, yeah, that's acceptable. So shit, I made 1,600 bucks on that. What a score. And then of course I called the other jewelers and I was like, you guys were wrong. It wasn't a lab stone. It was just a really good buy. I was worried, could have burned me. I was afraid it was a lab stone. Turned out not to be. But the point of the story is, do not judge a book by its cover. That's one thing I've come to learn, especially in this business. It's something you guys need to understand with customer service, how important it is. You don't know who's who or who's got what. Case in point, I have a friend that works at a Michelin star restaurant. He is a big deal in the wine community. I've name dropped him before, and the people I've name dropped him to in service are like, oh my God, he's your friend? Really big deal. His restaurant is, I mean, they sell $30,000 bottles of wine at his restaurant. So when I was in New York a couple years ago, I went to go visit him at work, and I was with Mike, and we got caught in a rainstorm, and we walk into this restaurant. I'm wearing like an Adidas shirt and shorts and like tennis shoes. We walk in like two wet dogs, just dripping water, and we sit at the bar, and I'm like, kind of like embarrassed to be in this restaurant dressed like this, but we're sitting, Mike and I, and we're talking to these two gentlemen next to us, these two older guys who, yeah, they're rich. They're for sure, like, this is what we deduced in the conversation. In fact, we were playing this game when we left about how much money we were talking to. We guessed between the pair of them, probably about $50 million. But as we were talking, I made a comment about how, you know, we know my friend, and I said we don't belong here, but I made a, you know, like a thing about like, you know, look at us. And he said, well, you guys could be crypto billionaires. He's like, this is New York. You never know who's who. And more importantly, You never judge a book by its cover. And that is, I mean, it's so true. And not that I ever do or believe that, but it's just, it's one thing. It is so important with customer service, especially in this business. I get people pulling up all the time. It seems like the more poor you look, actually the more money you have. I have had so many people in this business walk in, I mean, they're driving a rust bucket, their clothes are covered in paint, torn, they smell like BO, and they got a wad of cash. They got, 10 grand in cash like that they want to buy stuff with. Driving home the point, don't judge a book by its cover when it comes to customer service.
I probably got a bunch of stuff from the mint.
Yeah, I guess so. I was expecting that. Somehow I thought you had silverware.
No, here's Matchbox cards.
Oh, and you did bring some Matchbox
Yeah,
cards
I
too.
did.
Cool. Okay.
And I found boxes for all of them, so that's even better.
I don't think these ones came from the mint.
Oh.
I think these ones came as an aftermarket. The reason being, these are heavily circulated, and the mint only produces brand new stuff.
Oh, okay.
And they, to my knowledge, they don't release old coins.
Oh, okay.
I might be mistaken, but I don't think so. I think this was something that was done as like an aftermarket gimmick. But
okay.
They still got some money here.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured,
These are actually the business strength. These are clad.
Those are what?
These are clad. These are not 40%.
Oh, really?
The only silver ones, they have the S mint and they're proofs, so they're really shiny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these are just the clad silver ones.
Oh, okay.
If you wanted to keep these, I understand I can only do about $1.10 on each one.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
that's...
$2.20 a box.
Okay.
But these, you got some value too. Yeah. Okay. You got another 125 in these Eagles. That's above the market price.
Okay.
Silver right now is like 20 an ounce.
Oh, okay.
$85 right here. And we got some toys, you said? Oh shit, that's a lot.
Yeah. My brother collected them all. We got the boxes and the whole,
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I know some of them when I looked them up to see what the value was. Some of them were, some good value on them.
You have a price on the box in mind?
I am thinking the less I probably would take is like $1,000 for it. Some of them are a little bit more.
Sure. Do you know which ones are the valuable ones?
When I looked them up,
Oh, these came from Europe.
yeah, these are all the original Europe ones.
So I've never bought toys like this. And I'm being really frugal and careful because I don't want to make mistakes. $1,000 is a lot of money for me.
Okay.
I'd go to 500. That's really is all I'm comfortable paying on something I don't know anything about.
Sure.
Okay, so either I'm gonna break even on that deal or I'm gonna make a lot of money. The junk silver, I'm gonna do really well on because I only paid her 14 times. That is me reading the room. And so I saw, yeah, there's, okay, again, back to the Nazis and the ghosts and like the fact that like I think those fucking Nazi medals are cursed and I've had weird shit happen. So you see that cord right there? It's been wrapped up, like very well wrapped up over there, and somehow it just got like pulled out. That was weird. Like I said, I've had some weird shit happen to me instead of buying those fucking Nazi medals. Anyway, where was I? The junk silver I underpaid on. These Eagles, I'm gonna get 30 bucks each on at least. They're in Littleton plastic. There's no key dates, but, oh shit, there's a key date. Oh shit, I spotted 96, I didn't even see that. And it's got toning. This is 100 bucks. These are 30 each. There's a couple of these that are expensive. She wasn't kidding. I saw the 3 that I pulled were 40 bucks a box, and there's like 70 or 80 cars in here. So I might make $500 to $1,000 on that deal if it goes well. What I'm gonna do is, I guess, make a TikTok about these Matchbox cars and open up floodgates and create chaos for myself because I don't have the staff for it, but I'd like to turn these.
Several days later.
We're a couple days into this. I've like come close to tripling my money now. This is what's left. I'm gonna keep these till Friday. Whatever's left, I'm gonna just put them on eBay because then I can sell them. It is kind of a pain in the ass to deal with these using social media. But okay, so here's what I've discovered. This is what I was afraid of. Median price on these is about 50 bucks a box, but there's varieties. This one here has a variety. It's like coin varieties. So there's 2 varieties with the dogs here. There's a variety where the dogs are attached, and there's a variety where the dogs are not attached. However, it's missing the dogs. Because it is missing the dogs, this goes from being worth 50 bucks to being worth about 20. It really hurts the value that much just having pieces. Pieces missing. But there are varieties with these. Yeah, it's just I gotta be careful with the varieties in picking them out or making sure. You can tell by the way the number is positioned because there's like a blue. Let's see here, here we go. Here's a variety 2. Some of these are variety 1 with the number down here. Some of them are variety 2. For the most part, it seems like they're the same price. Like this one, I sold the other version, I had 2 of these. Some of them are more expensive. So every single one of these, when somebody's asking me a price, I gotta be really careful and just make sure I'm not making a couple $100 mistake. And if you're like, oh, but you paid $500 $500 for all of them. Who cares if you accidentally sell? I don't want to lose any money. I don't want to leave anything on the table. This is fucking, if I could get a deal like this every single week, I would have no problems at all. In 6 months. It's not gonna happen. I'm just saying, like, I really am pleased with this deal. So let's see how it progresses. I'm not gonna blur this handle out because this irritates the hell out of me, and I will just briefly talk about why. So for those of you that have been following me for a while, you know how I do things. We've addressed this before and it's nothing new, but for those of you that are new, because my audience is growing, I do get this from time to time where people are like, well, you lowballed her, you scammed her, you're a bastard. I threw out a price. She's an adult, I'm an adult. We agreed on the price. I set the price and she said, okay. She could have said, how about 800? I probably would have done it. She could have said, no. I didn't pull out my gun and stick it in her face and say, 500, I'm gonna blow your brains out. I said, here's the price. She said, okay. So nobody got scammed because that was her choice to make. She could have done the research herself and told me more. She could have brought paper documents to back up the research. I've had other people do this where they go to sell me something and then they pull out sold, you know, like you can go on eBay and see what sold for what price, and they print off what they have and what it sold for on eBay, which gives me a realistic idea of what I can expect to get out of it and what's a fair offer. She didn't do any of that. She just brought me an item, I gave her a price, and she said, okay. So nobody's getting scammed here. She just made the choice to sell it at the price that I offered. If you think freedom of choice is a scam, then you're an idiot. You don't know what the definition of a scam is. Just saying. Before we get into the monologue, you guys, I want to thank my terrific sponsors, chiefly local coin companies sponsoring the monologue, Bit Pierced, and Jolly Puff on YouTube. Give these people a follow, go check them out. They're here on social media, YouTube, Instagram, and let's get into it. All right, guys, since I made a huge Matchbox deal, we're gonna be talking all about Matchbox cars. Matchbox cars are one of the oldest die-cast car companies out there. They predate Hot Wheels by 15 years. The toys get their name because the box looks like a matchbox, like a box of matches. Being one of the earliest producers of die-cast cars, Matchbox's parent company, Lesney, became phenomenally successful in a pretty short order. It would start a fad of collectability that would continue for decades, even to this day. Think back to your childhood. A lot of you, especially older people, you look at something like a Matchbox car and it brings you nostalgia. It brings you back to your childhood. This was something that you played with. In fact, if you walked up to somebody and you showed them what this was, they would be hard pressed not to know what Matchbox was. They've heard of Matchbox. It's one of the most successful toys probably ever put out. Where the company comes from, in 1947, two friends who served together in the Royal Navy, Leslie Smith and Rodney Smith, no relation, started Lesney Toys as a combination fusion of both of their names. Initially operating out of a rundown pub in northern London, they initially created die-cast tools and goods. Now this is neither here nor there, but one thing I've come to learn in this business, if I hear the words die-cast, cha-ching. Remember the die-cast collectible fire trucks I had a couple months ago? I mean, every time I buy a die-cast anything, boy, I do well on it. So in 1951, Rodney left the company because he didn't see any future with it. He didn't think it was successful, it wasn't really going anywhere, he just decided to get out. One of the biggest financial blunders maybe ever in the world of toys. Right up there with the rights of Star Wars toys being passed over. 2 short years later, after Rodney leaves the company, they introduced the Matchbox car series. And this found almost immediate enormous success. In fact, it went on to win a ton of awards, including the Queen's Award for Industry for contributions to exports or technology. Now, there are 2 competing stories as to how this Matchbox thing came to be. So John Jack William Odell was the English engineer responsible for the design. Now, as the story goes, there's 2 different stories. One story is that his daughter's school only allowed her to bring toys that would fit in a matchbox. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna make you a toy that fits in a matchbox. The other story is she kept bringing home bugs and spiders in a matchbox, and he just got sick of it and got grossed out and was like, look, I will build you a toy that fits in a matchbox. Just please stop bringing bugs and spiders into this house, please. Now, both stories involve a scaled down red and green road roller that was already a product of Lesney. Matchbox cars by Lesney were like the only thing on the market for 15 years. There was no competition, nobody was doing anything else. The toys were of very high quality. Immediately they garnered interest. I mean, they're cool. It's not even my thing, but just like looking at some of them in the box, I kind of wanted to keep a few of them because I liked them so much. So after 15 years of being the only game in town, well, then there's some trouble from America. Mattel puts out Hot Wheels.
New Hot Wheels, the fastest metal cars you've ever seen.
And Hot Wheels are not made with the same care quality that Matchbox cars are. but boy, they can sure roll them out a heck of a lot faster, and they come with brighter, more vivid colors. It's a new thing that is a little bit cheaper, but more fun, more edgy, more hip. Lesney was the only company that was doing these little tiny die-cast cars that were of such high quality. But then Mattel comes along with Hot Wheels, and they do it, it's Americanized. You know, like I said, it was fast production, it was lower quality, higher volume. And this gave Lesney a run for their money. Particularly, Mattel was a much, much bigger company than them, so it was really hard for them to compete. They stayed true to their quality, and that was kind of part of the problem, was you have quality, but it is more expensive, and you're competing with something that is much higher volume and much cheaper. It's like, you know, competing with Walmart or Amazon. It's hard to do. So in response, Lesney introduced Matchbox Superfast. It was like kind of their attempt to do their own Hot Wheels.
Get ready for Matchbox Superfast Machine's Ultimate Challenge. Batteries not included. You put it together.
These new toys had frictionless tires. They came in brighter colors. And then they start introducing military models. And this worked for a little bit, but throughout the 1970s, Lesney kind of got pushed into the ground by Mattel. By 1982, they were basically out of money, they were bankrupt. On top of that, the 1970s, there was a big economic decline, particularly in the UK. So by 1982, they're bankrupt. But then a company called Universal Toys, which was run out of China, bought them and owned them for 10 years. And then in 1992, wouldn't you know it, the big guy wins. Mattel steps in and buys Matchbox. Now therein kind of is where you start to get extreme collectability, because when a big company buys a little company, one that was trying harder, that was putting out a better product, one that avid collectors swear was a better product, well, the integrity of the product is called into question. In fact, the whole company is called into question. People started thinking that Matchbox was a thing of the past and that Mattel was just gonna whore it out and ruin the brand. And that's not what happened. To an extent, maybe a little bit, that's what happened, but Mattel decided to keep Matchbox its own separate line, and Hot Wheels its own separate line. They didn't try to do a fusion like collectors were afraid they would. However, this did ignite the collector market, or at least it set it on fire, because now you have prices of vintage Matchbox cars really starting to climb. Collectors seeking them, afraid that the integrity of this company is going to be lost forever, just wanting to hold on to that great toy that was their childhood. But like I said, Mattel had a different vision. They liked that Matchbox had a realistic quality, that it was of higher quality than Hot Wheels. They wanted to keep that and preserve it. So what's interesting is classic Hot Wheels actually could be a lot more expensive than these, and I did not know that. When I originally bought these, you guys, you know, a lot of you guys, I'm sure, think I'm a pirate for only paying $500 for all those toys. Again, I didn't know what I was doing. It turns out I made a really good buy. But if these had been vintage Hot Wheels cars, like the first generation Hot Wheels, these would be way more expensive. But taking the two together, both the collector's markets for them are really hot. And for something that originally cost 39 cents a box, talk about a return on an investment. The median price on these for all, I bought 88 of them. I paid $5.88 a box on average, and the average cost of these I've determined is about $45 a box. So if you guys ever see these at sales, if you're at a garage sale, you see the vintage Matchbox, grab it. You do need to be aware there's different generations, different styles. You gotta look at the box. It's an easy find on eBay, but are the numbers down here? Are they up here? Is it a totally different cover? Does it say a Lesney product? The other thing you gotta be wary of, if you're buying these toys, do carefully take them out of the box. Unless they're totally unopened and you can tell that they've never been opened. There were just a few of these, but like this one here was missing the dogs. And turns out there's two varieties with the dogs. There's a version, or there's a variety where the dogs are like attached, and there's a version, or there's a variety where you can take the dogs out. This is the one where you can take the dogs out. Unfortunately, it is missing all the dogs. So you gotta be sure that all the pieces are together. You gotta look at the condition. You know, even the box itself, just this box is worth like 10 bucks. That was kind of what made this hard when I was originally researching what I had purchased, was I was looking online, and a lot of these, it's just the box for sale. There's no toy. And you know, the box is 10 bucks. Who knew? This one I'm holding here in my hands is from 1969. In conclusion, where does the price ceiling reach on these items? Like I said, median price for what I purchased, 45, 50 bucks a box. There are ones that go for like over $10,000. A single little thing like this. There's a prototype, the Matchbox 6. There's only one known, and it sold for $15,000 in 2010. I have no idea what it would bring today, probably double at least. There's other ones out there too that are equally as expensive. The number 30 has a color variation. There's only 2 of them known. One of them sold in 2014 for $13,000. There's also a special edition seafoam green of Matchbox number 36. It's an opal. Last sold price I saw was $9,000. There has not been one sold in a while. But in conclusion, This is a great buy. If you can find these at the right price, go to garage sale. You see these are a couple bucks. Even if it's just the box, grab it. In conclusion, the toys of yesterday can be treasures of tomorrow. When you're out and about at a sale, at an antique shop, keep your eyes peeled and you just might strike gold. Alright guys, just like that, it is the end of the day and the end of the episode. I want to thank all my terrific sponsors, Local Coin Company, Get Pierced, and Jolly Puff here on YouTube. If you guys like this video, be sure you give it a thumbs up, hit that notification button so you guys know when new episodes of Pawn Man are coming out. Please become a Pawn Man Patreon, or let me know if you'd like to sponsor an episode of Pawn Man. Follow me on social media, at Evan Kale, at Pawn Man. Go get my books on Amazon, and I'll see you guys back here for another episode of Pawn Man. Later, guys.